Okay, we're back right here. This is Mixified Media Solutions Around Midnight with the local boys. I'm Joe Carbonetta. I have Todd Fluker. I have Chevelle Devine. And we have you. So give us a call, 951-356-6882. If you're watching Friday, April 27, we are live. Again, that number is 951-356-6882. We'd like to hear your point of view. And you can always check us out at Mixified.com or email us at Mixified@gmail.com. And as we were saying when we went into the break, you can send Chevelle a tweet at Chevelle Devine or Todd at Todd Fluker. I said send. I didn't say shoot.
You did say send, but it's just somebody's got to tell the truth.
Or you can reach me at Joe Carbonetta.
I'm just saying.
So,
get it together.
So guys,
real talk, son.
Real talk. Moving right along, that we're doing real talk on Around Midnight. Anyway, so the Golden State Strangler has finally been found and taken into custody all of these years later. You know, the last murder was committed, the last known murder committed in 1986, and they have taken Joseph James D'Angelo, 72 years old, into custody after a string of murders. It was 12 people killed in all, and I believe 46 women that were raped.
I'm not, what, most of these took place like in the, 70s and 80s?
Right.
I'm not terribly familiar with the exploits of this guy. And, yeah, I get all these murderers mixed up. There's the Hillside Strangler and this guy, the Golden State Killer.
And then there's the Night Stalker that everybody remembers. That was Richard Ramirez. But this guy was actually referred to as the Night Stalker at one point as well.
Yeah, that's strange. And
well, they didn't have Twitter, so this stuff didn't.
And no wonder they didn't catch him. You see this headline? Look at this sketch of this guy. Who's gonna catch a guy off of that sketch?
I think I saw that guy in Aldi's.
Wait, isn't that one of the Partridge Family or something like that?
I think that's all of the Partridge Family. He looks like he kind of
looks like Bruce Jenner from back in the day too.
He does look like he's made of mayonnaise. So yeah, it could be any of the Partridge Family.
Well, so anyway, yeah, boy, and there's the after shot right there. So
yeah,
well,
see, I mean, you know what? Honestly, coming off of what we were just talking about earlier, we were talking about
What's
Cosby.
up at the top of his head?
I don't know.
He's old.
Yeah, he is 72 years old.
He must have a bandage.
It's like too little, too late, man. These guys, got everything they wanted, and
well, it's interesting. Yeah, this guy's a former police officer. He did do time in the military as well, but he was a former police officer who was ultimately dismissed from the force after he was caught shoplifting.
Huh.
But he'd actually already begun his crime spree prior to that, and then they kicked him off for shoplifting. Law enforcement for years suspected that the perpetrator of these crimes was military trained and possibly a police officer. Interestingly enough, they did not connect all of his crimes together for many, many years. They didn't realize it was the same person. But when they actually took him into custody, he had been married. He's separated. He's raised 3 daughters. He's retired now. He actually worked about 27 years or so as a truck mechanic, and he retired just last year. He was doing a woodworking project in his garage when the police surrounded him and took him into custody. And the first thing he asked them was if he could take his pot roast out of the oven before they took him off to jail.
So he's like, yeah, I've been waiting for you guys. Well, you took your time getting here.
I'm thinking more like he really thought he was never going to get caught. He just
at that point he must have been convinced that he was getting away with it. I mean, look at this Wikipedia page. Look at this laundry list of assaults that he got away with.
Yeah,
look at this.
It's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
46 rapes and 12 murders. And then as if that weren't enough, after raping 46 women, he then raises 3 daughters. I mean, there's some irony in there. Yeah. It's really remarkable how they finally caught up to him too.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on board with that.
They actually got onto him through one of those ancestry type websites where you send in a sample of your DNA and then they can tell you who you're related to anywhere in the world. And that's ultimately how they caught up to him. Again, they'd had suspicions about a police officer, a military-trained guy, partly because of knots that he tied when he would tie up his victims. He was using a special diamond knot that's only really taught in the military or the Boy Scouts. And so they had suspicions, but they didn't know who he was. And they did have DNA that they had collected from various crime scenes over the years. So in desperation, the police finally took some of those DNA samples and actually sent them out to all of those Ancestry type sites. Now, they have not specifically said which site they use. You know, there's a million of them. There's like 23andMe, there's Ancestry.com, there's, I don't know, you name it, there's a whole bunch of them. And they've not specified, and they declined to specify which site they used. But so they sent this out, and they got a hit. It turned out that this guy had a closely related family member who had subscribed to the services of one of these Ancestry-type sites to find out more about his background. And so this returned
man. Is he gonna come back and find out who that was?
I don't know.
Which one of his family members ratted him out?
Yeah, well, no. So this returned some kind of a positive hit. But, of course, when they took a look at this particular individual, he did not fit the bill. He didn't, you know.
Did you have to say Bill?
Yeah. No offense to any Bills out there. He didn't.
Thinking about Cosby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a good one. I didn't see that one. Yeah.
That's gonna have a whole different meaning from now on.
He didn't fit the. He didn't match the profile. So, but what they did do was then start to look at siblings and that type of thing, and they got onto this guy. So then they went to his house when he was not around and pulled out some piece of trash that had a DNA sample on it that they could then cross-reference against their known samples, and it was a perfect match. And that's how they finally got this guy.
That is interesting how that DNA stuff works.
I never trust it.
It is so... It is such an exact science. I mean, yeah, there's...
No, actually, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not. You can fake DNA evidence.
How
it is
are you
possible.
Fake DNA evidence?
Look it up. It's possible. It's been done before. They do it for espionage.
Captain Conspiracy is at it
I mean,
again.
it's a known fact. Nobody wants to talk about it because they rely so heavily on it in law enforcement. But the people who actually study DNA, like deeply, understand that you can, if you want to, falsify those results. It's not that hard.
And how often do you think something like that
I don't know how often
happens?
it happens. What I'm more concerned about is lazy policing. Because if you get a cop who goes and does this whole ancestry thing...
You think your average detective... Even not your average cop, your average detective is going to be able to, I don't know, push around some Y chromosomes?
No. I'm not talking about
what
that.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
not talking about that.
Where are you going with this,
No, I'm not
CJ?
talking about that. First off, I don't know if I agree with... Well, my positions on the whole DNA thing, like I would never submit my sample to that because I don't know who's going to get it.
But see, here's the lesson to be learned from this is that if you decide you're going to go on some kind of homicidal spree and you think you're going to get away with it, you better double check and make sure nobody in your family has done one of these genealogy sites. Yeah. Otherwise, you're shafted.
Yeah, oh man, I'm glad the guy got caught. I just don't know if I like him looking through DNA, man. I don't like that.
Well, you know, the FBI has tried to set up a federal database for years.
Yeah,
that, you know, everybody...
and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
So you'd rather have these people go on these murderous rampages for 30 years and nobody can figure out who they are?
I'm saying you cannot get any more invasive when it comes to privacy than requiring people to submit DNA.
Oh, but apparently you can, because all you need to do is sign up on Facebook. You pretty much give everybody everything already, short of a DNA sample.
But when they start requiring a butt sample for you to get a Facebook account, that's when it's going to be a real issue.
Who said anything about requiring it? He's talking about setting up a national registry of samples that the police departments around the country already have.
There are a lot of things that people are already required to do. And this gets back to my feelings about Facebook, because the easiest way to get people to give you stuff is to offer it for free as a service.
But see, now here's the other thing, and you're glossing over this altogether.
Yeah.
Nobody required anybody to put their DNA up there to catch this guy.
That is
somebody went in and wanted to see if they could track down their ancestors, and that's how they found. They volunteered to hand over this information.
I understand the technology. I understand the process. I understand how they got the guy. I just don't like it. I don't like it, man. I don't know. This is some
says the guy with the wires and the strange metal canister in his backpack. It's no wonder he's a little concerned.
And you're sure there's no static electricity?
Yeah, no, I can't be 100% certain.
I'm gonna put this over by Todd.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I mean, at this point, yeah, taking this Golden State Killer down is that really going to change anything for anyone? He's an old man woodworking and cooking pot roasts.
Well, the same argument could be made for Cosby. He's 80 years old. I don't think he's going to be roofing anybody anymore.
True, true. You got me there.
But it's all about just finally, it's the wheels of justice, slow as they may be, finally catching up.
You finally got me with the
actually,
pudding pop of justice.
You can go right now, and this is what I was talking about when I was talking about lazy policing.
Really?
What I was talking about when I was talking about lazy policing, there are people on death row right now where they have DNA evidence that says these people did not commit the crimes, but they still won't release them. And there's people that they know match that DNA that have not been arrested because they've already convicted somebody else of the crime. That's what I'm talking about when I say lazy policing. So when you start requiring people to submit samples and whatnot,
that has nothing to do with the police.
Yes,
Once these people have been convicted in a court of law, then you're talking about overturning a conviction
which is the right thing to do.
But that has nothing to do with the police. The police,
yes, it does.
The police arrested the person that they had probable cause to believe at the time was guilty of the crime.
That is not true. That is not true. They did not arrest the ones they had probable cause for. They arrested the ones they had a hunch about. I know it was this guy. Look at this guy. He's the one that did it. People go into this stuff with preconceived notions. You cannot separate the human from the task. You can't do it. And when it comes to law enforcement, you're seeing that more and more and more in law enforcement today, where you're finding out this guy, for instance, was a cop.
Well, okay, what is your...
And he's probably committed crimes
What
while
is
he
your
was a cop.
solution, then? Are we just going to throw all laws out the window and go back to the Old
No,
West,
I'm
where
not
if I
saying
catch
throw
you in
all
the
laws
act,
out
I
the
just
window.
draw my six-shooter and you're done?
Well, if you catch him in the act, yes, I'm okay with that.
This sounds like more of an argument for the National DNA Registry.
No,
you're talking
I don't
about
like
all
it.
these people who were
My
wrongly convicted. Shut the hell up, Chevelle. I'm talking. If you create this national registry, it can stop some of these things from happening in the past.
Bro,
Well, that's
I
true.
came
If you
up in an era
mainstream-
where I had friends who had to deal with stuff being stashed in their cars, being accused of crimes they did not commit, and it's going to be just as easy for a cop to say, well, we've got everybody's DNA on file. Let's see what his DNA looks like. Go get a sample of his crap, throw it at this crime scene, and we're good. That is real life, because humans are evil.
You think
that's the kind of thing they will do to get that check mark so they can get that bonus at the end of the year?
You think that the cops are going to walk up to you and swab your
No,
cheek
they'll do
and
what
then
they did with this guy. They'll go through your trash.
put it on somebody's
Or they'll have
door
some
sill
lady
where
go
they've
up and,
have an
offer you a
unsolved
drink.
break-in.
They do it all the time, Joe. You see it on all the CSIs. Oh, let's get this guy to hold this cup and with his fingerprint. They have ways of getting this stuff. It's not rocket science. Anybody can do it. All you got to do is watch like one season of Dong Dong. What's that show?
Law and Order,
That
I believe
one.
is what you're talking
One season of that, and you know everything that they're
SUV.
doing. Yeah. If you don't want to watch that, do some NCIS.
Okay.
Any one of those shows with the letters in the name.
But so then, again, I go back to this one question. What do you plan to do? How do you propose to police? Because it sounds like what you're advocating is anarchy instead, where
I
it's
am
every
not
man for
advocating
himself.
anarchy. I don't agree with it. I think it's a little too invasive. I understand that people become more and more comfortable with technologies, but for somebody who doesn't even like to go on Facebook, Joe, I'm surprised that you're okay with it.
Chevelle, how are we going to get to the Minority Report level of policing if we can't start somewhere?
I don't want to get there, man.
We have to start somewhere.
I don't want to get there because the next step is equilibrium.
Oh, man, that'd be so cool. Gun-kata.
Wow, so we've gone well beyond Big Brother and just the cameras at this point. You're concerned about Skynet taking over the world.
I can't. Oh, that's way too deep, man. Because they'll start creating things that look for specific profiles, little profile sniffers and whatnot.
So you're going to be up there with Will Smith and Gene Hackman in that little room wearing the tinfoil hats and coming completely off the grid because the feds are just, waiting to swab or pick up a cup or something and put you in prison for a crime you
I don't
didn't
think
commit.
I'd wear the tinfoil hat. I'd probably get a specially made helmet for that purpose. I'd be more Magneto with it.
Oh, man, look at this cool gun-kata gif. Ah, so cool. Christian Bale at his best.
What are you doing, Todd?
Equilibrium, dog.
Look at
telling
that
you,
gun-kata
you need to watch
gifs.
Yeah, okay,
Look
all
at
right.
him go.
It's really time for us to take another break anyway. So you are watching, despite what you're seeing up there on the screen, you are watching Mixified Media Solutions Around Midnight with the local boys. I'm Joe Carbonetta, Todd Fluker, Chevelle Devine, and give us a call, 951-356-6882. We're live tonight, Friday, April 27. And we'd love to hear your point of view. Please tell us how you think that Chevelle has really gone off the deep end with the conspiracies. But we'll be back right after this. Around Midnight is a production of Mixified Media Solutions. Mixified is a full-service multimedia production company. From boardroom to broadcast, whatever your production needs, Mixifyd is your solution. Go to Mixifyd.com, that's Mixafied, or call 951-356-6882. Mixifyd Media Solutions.